Tavis Addison. I'm co-founder and president of the Lake County Challengers. I got into this really at the end of the day for the kids. There was an opportunity to highlight student athletes that weren't the bigger physical type of athletes, the stars on the team, but were very academic, had the ability to play the sport and could definitely play at the collegiate level, but didn't get a lot of attention. So the Lake County Challengers took charge on putting the highlight and focus on these type of athletes. I would say the biggest challenge that we faced starting out was the cost perspective, because we didn't feel a need to charge a high price for the services we were offering. It actually hurt us. It made it seem as though the parent wasn't getting what they were paying for if they had paid the larger cost. So we didn't get the per se the top-notch athletes. But we did get the individuals who wanted to be a part of what those athletes were participating in. So that hurt our ability to compete at the higher level. The other challenge was the ability to get our own space, to partner with other businesses. So we had to go the school route. And luckily, we did get one court, and that was the Round Lake Sports Center, gave us some space to actually start to kind of build out what we wanted to do for the community. That is 10 years ago when we first got our first court and opened our doors for kids to come in and start learning the game of basketball. Our first year, we started out with about 24 kids. We averaged about 110 kids. You know, one of the stories that I like the most actually features a couple of athletes. When we first came up with the concept of being a college prospect, because to compete with the other programs was a challenge to really recruit in better kids. So our thought was that if we helped you to get money off of college, then maybe we'll start to attract better talent. And I remember the first meeting we had was around college prospects or becoming one. You had to come to the library and you had to come and understand what steps you needed to take in order to be on the NCAA list. Well, that day, we had about 50 chairs going each way. We had enough room for 100 people. And we had 2 kids show up. And those 2 kids with their parents showed up. They listened to the presentation in this empty room. And 2 years later, these 2 young women were the first 2 women to move on to college out of our program. Our next meeting we had the following year, we had to get more chairs because so many people were interested, because these were really sort of the girls who kind of sparked the truth that, hey, there's an opportunity here that goes beyond basketball. And that's actually another funny story. My daughter was on a feeder team, and they weren't very successful. They hadn't won a game she joined the team that hadn't won a game in 2 years. And the final tournament was coming up, and the actual tournament director for the conference said, you know, probably shouldn't let this team in because they weren't competitive enough. So the coach apparently quit because he was very frustrated. I understand they weren't very talented. And I'm washing dishes, and my daughter comes in and says, we don't have a coach. They're letting us in the tournament, but our coach quit. So I go into the practice. I'm trying to get these girls to understand what I need them to do now with just a week to prepare. We went into the McHenry Conference tournament, and they tied for second place. And from that moment on, I was hooked. My daughter's now gone on and gotten married and has kids and moved on, and now I'm stuck coaching. So we're known for girls basketball. We definitely have a very talented boys team now. But at the end of the day, I'm stuck now still coaching, and I'm trying to pull my daughter back in to help. The mission for the Lake County Challengers at the end of the day is kind of twofold. One, we want to provide a safe place to come and encourage athletes to get better. The other side of it, beyond the exploration age, which is the youth age, once they're heading into high school, we really focus on building the confidence of athletes to understand that you don't have to be the best player on the team in order to get an opportunity to play at the collegiate level. I would say our rivals is kind of two-part. From a business standpoint, there's a lot of competitive programs in the northern Illinois area. Good programs. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to do the same thing, which is develop kids and provide them a safe place to come and play. Our rivals, I would say, because of the nature of what we do, Kessel Heat would be a natural rival. They're a very successful program up in the Lake County area. You also have Full Package, which is one of the bigger programs in the Midwest. And then finally, you also have Mean Streets, which is a very popular program out in the Chicagoland area. And as of recently, because of some of our recent success, we do like to battle it out on the court and off the court with Wisconsin Playground Elite, which actually produces a lot of your D1 athletes and superstars that come out of the Milwaukee area. So those are our competitors. I always pride our program in terms of if it comes down to a choice, at least within our arm's reach of the area, I pride our staff. I give a lot of credit to our staff that we're not in the gym 24/7, or we're not in the gym every day as training practitioners, or we're not 24-hour coaches. Our coaches have master's degrees. They're senior managers at large companies. So what we're giving the students is not just the game of basketball, but we can actually advise them on how to achieve post-graduation when basketball is no longer the center of your everyday. We also help them actually transition into the workplace with internship opportunities. So our focus is much more than basketball. My family, they support me. They support the mission of the Challengers. They participate from concession stands to helping with the enrollments. My wife has been a really big backbone in terms of helping out with all the administrative stuff. Not the happiest camper about it, but supports it because of what it's doing for our community and the kids. My son plays basketball, and all three daughters have fell in love with doing something else. Recently, my smallest, Sienna, after doing gymnastics for 7 years, and actually pretty good at it, sat us at the table as though she was 21 years old and said, look, I want to play basketball. And financially, I was happy. And then my wife was sad because now she's back in the gym 24 hours a day. She didn't exactly say why she wanted to play basketball, but she did say why she didn't want to do gymnastics anymore. And gymnastics was very taxing. Because of her success, she was in a gym where she was spending 3 to 4 hours Monday through Friday in the gym. And that took away a lot of her freedom. So she found new friends in a new sport where she grew up over those last 4 or 5 years, watching other young women get recognized and move on to college in a sport that she wasn't affiliated with. I've never thought about the size of the program because it's always been a hobby to me. It's always been a love of what I do for the program. For me, it's all about how many good coaches do you have? How many good leaders do you have? And based on that number determines how much we can do, how much we can actually support with quality. Dating back probably about a good 5-6 years ago, we had a very successful boys program. Half the kids from one particular team in one way or the other went off to play college basketball. That was probably the height of our boys basketball side. And that to me was really the true pinnacle of being able to have both the girls' side be strong and a boys' side be strong. And to me, from a size standpoint, that's when you can truly grow. When you have leaders that people want to get behind, good communication. So those, to me, are really the bigger factors that come into play than size. If there's anything that we're confident about when it comes to being a part of the Lake County Challengers, because we are, in many cases, just another basketball program, just another basketball club out there amongst the thousands. The one thing that I can look a parent in the eyes and tell them for sure is that we are a place where if your child wants to get to college and wants to play college basketball, then that becomes a priority within our program. It's not just about being the star or playing with your best friend. It's not just a social activity. With college costs increasing every single year, and if they have the want inside of them, if this is something that they want to do, we're very serious about it. We have a good Rolodex of relationships with college coaches, and they know that we're out there not just looking for the D1 athlete. We're a great place to network with for college coaches if you're looking for the D2, the D3, and the NAIA. That's why you join the Lake County Challengers. So I don't try to toot our horn a lot, but we do have it on our jackets now that we are over $800,000 in assisted financial assistance to students for athletic or financial aid. We're over $800,000 in support, and we haven't asked for any government support, even though we're 501c3, not-for-profit. We've done that just based off of our recruiting efforts and supporting kids through that process. I would just say that we have a very strong boys team, and we're excited about what they're gonna do, and we think that they're gonna be one of the better teams in the state as freshmen. And we're really just trying to get back to where we were at when Coach Cliff left. That's been our pursuit.